What's up, and welcome to Social with Rocky. I'm Rocky, your host and creator of InstaBiz University. In this podcast, you will learn all the ins and outs of Instagram and social media. I will help you learn how to gain more followers, generate leads, and grow your influence like no other. Your business deserves your attention. It's time to revamp and be that entrepreneur you're dying to be. Are you ready? All right, let's get social with Rocky. What's up, you guys? It has been a hot minute since I've jumped on this line and recorded a podcast for you, but please charge my head and not my heart. I've just been going through so much great things, but it has been a lot on my plate. I have launched my first beta for the Instagram business course, and it was amazing. It was so amazing that I decided to launch a second beta. So I'm now launching 2 beta courses, and then when I'm done with that, I will have all of my time back. So I decided to take a break, and say, you know what? My podcast listeners are still waiting for me. So allow me to come back and drop some dimes and some knowledge while I can and while I have a spare minute. So while I'm teaching my beta course, the first thing that they learn about is how to build their ideal client, build their client avatar, and to, know who they're targeting on Instagram. And this is the first thing that I decided to teach them, because pretty much if you don't know who you're talking to or who your audience is or who you even want to purchase by or, direct your traffic to, it's going to be kind of hard for you to try to monetize your business on Instagram. You have to know who you're talking to. And like I always say, if you're talking to everybody, you are talking to nobody, because you don't have a clear focus. So this was the first thing I taught them on how to do. Now, as I'm teaching them, a lot of them have a ton of questions. How do I find my client avatar? Where will they be? How do I know their age range? How am I going to create a story for an audience that I don't even know how I want the audience to be or what I want them to be? Or pretty much, bottom line, their question was, where do I start? So today's podcast, I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to pretty much let you know how you can find your client avatar or find your ideal client based on what you are already doing. And it's going to be quick and easy and fast, because that's how I like these podcasts. Make sure you take notes. So the first thing I would do when it comes to finding my ideal client is to look at my business as a whole. What is my business is the first question, and who exactly am I trying to reach, okay? Now, the other thing I want to pinpoint is, what is the problem? So what is their problem? And your business is a solution, is how you can think about it. So if their problem is, I burn my cookies all the time, then the solution would be, I'm going to sell you a product that is going to be a timer so that you don't burn your cookies, okay? So find out what their problem is, number one, and then find out how your business can solve their problem, all right? Now, if you've already created a business and you were like, I didn't even think about this, I didn't even know what their problem is, you can quickly find a problem based around your business. If not, you know what your passion is. You know why you designed your business and why you set up the business the way you did. Why did you do it? And if you can find out your why as to how come you set up this business or why you produce this business, then you can very easily find your ideal client, because they're the people that you're helping, okay? So dig a little deeper into your own mindset and figure out why you have your business and who it is that you're reaching out to. The second thing I suggest is to think of yourself as a client, okay? If you were to buy your product, what is it that you are looking for within the product that is going to make you purchase the product? Is it colorful? Does it make a statement? Is it going to fix all of your problems, your cares, your hopes, your dreams? Are they going to be rebuilt? What is it that you would look for in your own product, okay? Now, this might take some time and it might break you down a little bit because you don't know. You just made it for everybody else. But put yourself in their shoes and figure out, what it is that you would do to get to your product. So it sounds a little confusing, but it's a pretty simple thing, okay? Like, for example, I'm an Instagram strategist. If I were looking for Instagram strategy or Instagram tips, I would want to know how to grow my audience. I would want to know how to monetize my business through Instagram. I would want to know how to automate so that everything is simple for me. So therefore, when I look for my ideal client would be looking for the same thing, because I know if I'm looking for that, then they could be looking for that too, all right? The next thing is, you can very easily go into your hashtags that you use every single day and find out who is also posting under that hashtag, or who is liking the post from that hashtag. So what I do is I go into my hashtag. So if I use Instagram Strategist, I click on that hashtag and I see all of the different posts there. I click on somebody in the top post section and then I see who has liked that picture. 9 times out of 10, the people that have liked that picture under the hashtag that I love so much are my ideal clients because they're looking for the same thing that I can provide. So I take one person that has liked that picture and I look at their Instagram feed and I see what it is that they like. How are they moving and functioning, and what are their questions and what are their problems? If I can find out those things, and I know that that person fits my ideal client, and I can use them to further on my progress with Instagram. Now, another way that kind of spins off of this is you can simply do a survey. Survey your audience. Survey your Instagram followers. Survey your Instagram stories. Put it in your Instagram stories. You can survey your Facebook group. You can survey your Facebook page. Ask these people, what is your problem? Not like that, but you know what I mean. Ask these people, if you were a businesswoman, man or woman, what is your problem with Instagram? Why can't you find your ideal followers? What's the biggest hangups? What is something that's easy for you? What is something that's hard for you? Okay. Ask these questions, figure out what their problem is. Now, when you look at these survey answers, you can go back to that person and dig deeper with them and figure out what it is that they do. Why are they interested in your business, or why would they be interested in a product? What are they looking for? What kind of solutions are they looking for? Now, their job, based on how they answer, can tell you if they may or may not be your ideal client. So say if the person that's answering these questions is a female entrepreneur and she says, I'm trying to find an Instagram strategy that's going to help me scale my business and I want it quick, fast, and easy. So when I look at her, I'm like, okay, well, she's a female entrepreneur. So how many other female entrepreneurs are thinking the same thing? So I'll go into a Facebook group full of female entrepreneurs and I'll say, hey, you guys, can you fill out this survey for me and let me know if these are problems for you as well. And I'll list them out and see what they say. Now, if they agree and it's the same problems as her, then guess what? She will be my ideal client. Now, don't let this take away from you just putting together your ideal client, because you can just put together an ideal client of person that you feel is in your hopes and dreams when it comes to business, and then create your audience and use your hashtags to grab hold of your ideal client, okay? Some people have made an ideal client off the top of their head that they think fits their business, and that's perfectly fine, because then they're going to use hashtags that's going to draw their ideal client once they do the hashtag research for their business and their brand. So you can totally do that. But if you're absolutely stuck, then these are the things that you want to do to try to find your ideal client, all right? So just keep in mind, you guys, I guess the bottom line is find out who you're targeting. Find out who you're targeting. Find out what their problem is, solve their problem, and then go after it that way, okay? Now, do you have to get deep as in, okay, well, this person is the ages of 24 to 44. She has blonde, brown hair and a huge story. You write this huge story about the client avatar. It's great to know that kind of stuff. But for me, when it comes to Instagram, it's not that big a deal. Like, I really just want to know what her problem is, and I really just want to know how I can solve her problem. Like, that's what I want to do. So create an elaborate story is a great background for me to have, but it's not going to make any difference because ultimately she just wants her problem solved. Now, what it could help with is when you design your Instagram page. So another way, like I told you before about searching the hashtag and see who's liking the hashtags, I'll go back to see which person liked the hashtag and I'll look at their Instagram feed. Now, if their Instagram feed is full of quotes and pictures and, of course they're pictures, but full of quotes and beautiful pictures of pink fluffy clouds, then guess what? To attract my ideal client, I'm going to make my feed the same way and I'm going to use that same hashtag. I'm going to use that hashtag. She's going to come to my page and she's going to see a bunch of quotes with pink, white, fluffy clouds, and she's going to like it because she liked it before, okay? And that goes right back into what I talked about a long time ago about copying your competition and copying your influencers' stuff, because apparently what they're doing is working, all right? So don't think that their ideal client is your ideal client. However, if they're reaching out to your same ideal client or your same potential ideal client, look at what they're doing, see who's watching their page, and then try to grow off of that, okay? So this may sound a little confusing, but you guys can do it. And finding your ideal client is so important because you want to know how to scale and shape your Instagram account to fit that and ideally draw them to your page, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. Again, like I said, short and sweet. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Social with Rocky. If you want some more tips and tricks, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Rocky, ROCKI, Media Expert, or you can join me in my Facebook group, InstaBiz University, INSTABIZ University, where I have tons of tips and tricks and a lot more basic information, okay? And stay tuned. The podcast is not tripping. We are not disappearing off the face of the earth. We will definitely keep it moving and, stay tuned for the next episode. Check you guys later and make sure you pay attention to your ideal client.